Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. I'm giving you an update on many things today. We're going to do kind of a Q&A style video as well to answer a lot of the commonly asked questions these days since the launch of my product brand, which is, as you guys know, we launched this on Saturday, September 21st, 2024. Clean by Pan the Organizer. Let me get this right off the bat. You guys came in with so much love and support. It was insane. But before we get to that, in this video, I'm going to be addressing just some different Q&As, different questions that are often asked. On Saturday, on launch day, I was literally, and I'm not kidding you, 16 hours straight in front of my computer to respond to comments. At this point, I think the video has accumulated 60,000 views. And we're not a full week in, but over 3,000 plus comments. It was insane. Again, so much love and support. Of course, a few negative in there, right? Some naysayers, some people came out of the woodwork to try and break the fun that we're having. But note that, so I'm going to address that too in this video, because with any success, there's always some people out there that try and, well, bring you down. But that's not going to happen because you guys showed such force once again and support. I can't stop smiling because despite me lacking sleep, like every day this week, I think I barely slept 4 hours every night. It's been quite the endeavor. It is my dream come true. As you guys know, for years, I've been saying that if I ever reach 1 million subscribers, I might have my own line of car care products. But with that, as this new business owner, because yes, my YouTube channel is one business, and now this new venture that I'm in comes with a lot of questions, a lot of valid ones as well. I know that it's getting very hard for me to reply to everyone because it's just physically impossible. I'm trying to manage a business, operate a channel, do my everyday life, and then the orders and communicate with the House of Rags, Eddie and Jamie, who started that, right? They're my worldwide suppliers. So a lot of challenges for two new businesses starting up. So I'm highly supportive of them as well, just as they are as much of me. So we're going to talk about those things and address a few of the classic questions that I'm getting now concerning the products. And I think by addressing them publicly through a video, it's going to help stop false rumors, first of all, from being spread. You know, on my channel, I like to stick to facts, and some people just like to start unwanted drama, stir some controversy. There's some experts at that out there. So we're going to squash those immediately because I have no tolerance for that. You guys know that. And so let's start with the positive things. First of all, thank you for your support. I don't know what more to say. You guys made it such a tremendous success that I think by Sunday night or Monday morning at this point, so like 2 days into the launch, completely sold out. It blew my own expectations. So again, we had a lot of inventory because of the size of the audience, right? You guys made this one of the biggest detailing channels on YouTube. We're well over 1 million subscribers at this point. And I knew with doing videos for other brands in the past, trying to help them out with new product launches, the impact of such a big channel that can have. So I kind of figured that I knew a few of the quantities that we need, but you guys proved me so wrong. And I truly am grateful for that. By the way, I am thankful because there's probably a bunch of haters out there that wanted us to fail. And I say us, right? Because you're in this with me. Without you guys, this would have never been possible. You showed the love and appreciation for everything that I shared my knowledge for and my passion in these 8+ years being on YouTube. I started my channel in April 2016. So it's been well over 8 years at this point. So without you, this would not be the resounding success that it is. So it overwhelmed us. I think it overwhelmed everything. It overwhelmed the warehousing, where the House of Rags operates from to do the packing and shipping and all that kind of stuff. It overwhelmed my chemists because we were on phone calls ASAP. As soon as we saw the numbers starting to dwindle down and that things would get sold out, I, of course, well, not panicked, but it's kind of a good problem to have, right, for a brand. But still, I want to make sure that things get done because you guys know hard work is so important for me. And luckily, partnering with Eddie and Jamie, it's still their own brand, by the way. For those asking, do I have any partnership inside the House of Rags? Absolutely not. That's their business. We're two different businesses. I use their services for the distribution worldwide. So they came to me with a plan. It was a fantastic plan. They approached me a year ago now, and they came forward with, this is their plans to have a bunch of other brands on their website. They wanted quality stuff and brands that I support as well that are on there. By the way, I have a Pan's Top Picks on that website on the House of Rags. So you're going to see other brands that I still support. And I think that's one thing that might differentiate me from other brands, is that I still support other brands. I'm not scared of competition at all. I actually invite it. I think it's healthy for the business because it pushes innovation. It forces brands to come out with newer and better products, use better quality stuff. And at the end of the line, well, you guys win because you have a better selection of so many good products today compared to where we were maybe a decade ago or even 5 years ago. There's so many good brands out there now, and that's still the case and always will be. So it's better for the end user because you get, well, better pricing, you have access to better stuff, you have a plethora of brands you can support, because what the best detailing product for one person is might not be for you. I know you've seen me say my products are the best, and are they really the best? Well, that's in my opinion. We did a lot of R&D and testing in this last year, and for me, my viewers know how important this is. If I'm to put my name on a brand and it's my brand, I wanted them to be the best of the best. And yes, that comes out as being, some say, outlandish sometimes for claims, but I know the majority of you who know me, it's because of my enthusiasm. I put a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of testing in this. Heck, I even asked some other people to not be biased because it's my own baby to help me out, as you saw in some videos so far and more to come. So it was important to me to get other opinions from DIYers, from seasoned veterans and professional detailers, and so on and so forth. And just a great support cast, and going to different chemists as well. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff in the video, by the way. So yeah, what an endeavor so far. And so where are we for shipping and packing and sending orders out? And so first of all, on my side of things, because there's things that I do not control. So on my side, it's the chemistry with the labs, right? So my chemists are hard at work, and I have phone conversations or emails or texts on a daily basis. They're losing their minds. It's a good thing for them too, because that's mean they're super busy. But one of the chemists from one of the labs, because I use many labs, was telling me, Pan, I've never seen this much orders in such a short amount of time, and that after only 2 days, we already have to put new orders in for fresh batches to be made. And as soon as that batch was out, sold out again. And now they're hard at work reproducing fresh batches. I know you guys saw that it's all sold out on the website. I think at this time, there's still a few coatings left, but pretty much the rest of the line is sold out. But don't worry, in the next days, they're almost at the end of producing the new batches. That's one advantage we have since we produce our own chemicals, is to be able to turn around quickly and not have to wait a month or two for things to come from all over the world and then have to figure out which blender we're using. And no, so we already have the raw ingredients. We have all that good stuff. By the way, the majority of my line, for those wondering, is made in the USA. And so, yeah, that's it. Hard at work producing the chemicals. So that's my side of things, right? That's what I need to do to make sure we send stuff out. So we're to the point now of having such a huge order made. And then the other countries, we started off with USA and Canada, but we're also adding Europe. We're adding UK, Australia, and Japan. So of course, Europe is not a country, it's a continent, but what I mean is all the countries in Europe will have access to those. So a lot of them placed their orders already. They're being shipped out. The House of Rags will be the official distributor, by the way, worldwide. So regardless of what country you're in, it's going to be the houseofrags.eu for Europe, houseofrags.uk for the UK, so on and so forth, .au for Australia, .jp for Japan. At least that's what I'm assuming for now the websites are going to be like. But for any of that information, follow the House of Rags. So YouTube, they have a YouTube channel. They have an Instagram account as well. They're going to give you all the updates. They do a bit of that kind of newscast, breaking news kind of thing to let you guys up to date. I think they're very good with their communication, by the way. And kudos to them. Like, you know how hard of a strong worker I am. For me, hard work is one of my pillars of my values. And the guys over at the House of Rags, so Jamie the Cleaner and also Eddie Cologne from EC Details, they partnered up together to start the House of Rags. So they have their own line, Detail Co., but also they distribute other products from other major brands. I'm looking at Armor Detail Supply, I'm looking at CarPro, Labo Cosmetica, Naziol, they have Stoner, they have, listen, there's so many brands, it's crazy. And they're the exclusive suppliers of Clean by Pan, the organizer. So I'm blessed and honored to be on there because they only wanted to have good quality brands on the website, with more coming because they're signing crazy deals, and it's just insane the work they're doing. So note that they're hard at work. And also, if you have any questions or concerns for your orders, it's not me fulfilling them, by the way. So I know I'm accessible and I try to reply to all, but there's things that are out of my control. You can always reach out to their customer support team 3 ways. As I said, I wanted to make sure that we have great customer service, right? So the House of Rags, which is my distributor, they take care of all that for me because I'm a one-man operation. I can't do all that. I can barely keep up with YouTube comments. So for me, distribution, packing, shipping, customer service, all that was important to find a good strategic partner, and they definitely are that. So you can reach them out by email, support@thehouseofrags.com. You can reach them on the chat function on the website. You can open a chat box, and you can also phone call them. So they have a phone number on there in the contact tab at the bottom, contact us on the website, and you can reach out to them with any concerns, anything order related, your shipping, all that kind of stuff. And I'm happy to report also that my viewers already who needed to reach out to the customer service, they told me that their experience with it is very, very good. So I know you guys report back to me, but I had no doubt because I have full trust in them. And again, let's support the small brands like Clean by Pan, the organizer. We're starting, there's juggernauts out there in the industry, and we should be happy that we're trying to do good things, right? With these products, proprietary blends, quality ingredients. I tried to keep the prices as competitive as possible in their lineup. Again, I'm not competing with the entry-level stuff. This is premium top shelf, but in that top tier category, I think you guys also commented that you're very appreciative of the pricing. And well, that was one way for me to make sure to get them in your hands and for you to enjoy them. So the orders are being fulfilled as fast as humanly possible. But again, there was so many. On Monday morning, when the warehouse team came in, they told me they were kind of overwhelmed to see the amount. They had never seen that before from other brands, because in that warehouse, it's a 3PL that the House of Rags uses, which many other brands, by the way, use that same 3PL. It's a center location in the USA, and there's a bunch of companies, not only detailing, but other brands and other companies that use those third-party logistics to fulfill and pack and ship orders kind of thing. So that doesn't mean that the products are the same, and I'll get to that in just a few seconds, because I heard all sorts of weird conspiracy theories, right? So yeah, they're going to ship those as fast as humanly possible. So on my end, the chemists are hard at work. They work 12, 16-hour days at this point. They barely have a life, but they're like, Pan, we understand you're a hard worker. It was important for me. If I'm to work hard, I want everybody else in the teams and even at the House of Rags to work hard, and everybody's delivering. So they work as fast as humanly possible, once again, to get those orders out. So the fresh batches should be coming in before the end of September. So probably, I don't want to give any promises, but in the next days, if you're watching this when this video launches on the Friday, and then from then on at the warehouse, once they get there, the teams of the House of Rags, they're going to get hard at work once again to fulfill whatever backlog they had, because there was a few glitches with the website, which they ironed out. Again, this is normal when even brands that are established, again, that I've done videos for in the past, have had headaches when we launch videos. So this is nothing new there. So I thank you for your patience and understanding, by the way. We're excited to get these products out to you, because I know once you try them, that's it. End of story, mic drop. I'm sure you're going to love them. And so I can't wait to see on other channels as well. I'm sure many will be reviewing the products. I'm expecting this. I can't wait for them to try it out, to have opinions as well from other content creators. So my enthusiasm, are they the best in the world? For me, guys, in my opinion, they are. I put so much time, effort, hard work, R&D, passion, you name it, to make this happen, that of course, I've never heard a company say we have the 3rd best products or the 16th best shampoo in the world or the 5th best ceramic coating, right? It's just, I think my enthusiasm comes across. I'm overly enthusiastic, and I really am. I'm happy. This is a dream come true. So again, thank you for your support. I can't wait for you guys to try them. Give me your feedback. So USA, Canada, the USA orders, once again, the orders are coming in as far as my chemists doing the fresh batches to restock, and then the warehouses shipping out. For Canada, early October is when we're expecting for the orders to be fulfilled, or at least to start shipping out from Canadian warehouses. And then what happens with the UK, all of Europe, Australia, and Japan? Well, those countries are putting orders in as we're speaking now. So all that, again, managed by the House of Rags. So they're taking care of taking orders and stocking up with all the different brands, not just my own. And the products should be on their way soon to the other countries. So you can expect some updates. We're hoping mid to end of fall at the very latest. So sometime in October is what I'm told. But again, things can change. So check the House of Rags on YouTube or on Instagram for those updates. But note that things are moving. What about my pads, my polishing pads? So those are in final stages of production, at least for 2 of them. I think my wool cutting pad and my foam jeweling white pad, that are almost done. They need the final backings with my custom logos on there, and those being shipped out to the warehouses. And I think the blue foam polishing pad, which is going to be also my magical one-step, that's going to be a bit more delayed, so a few more weeks on there. But again, all the updates will come as time flies. The clay towel has not made it to the stocking yet. It should be on its way, I am told, because all the final packaging and all that kind of stuff was done, so you can expect the clay towels to be in stock soon. And more things added in the future, by the way. Drop comments in the comment section if you have ideas for future products you want to see in the lineup. I already have some in my head, but I'm taking notes because now you guys can give me feedback on what you want to see. So probably kind of a wheel and tire cleaner, an interior detailer, an iron remover. So those are chemicals that you guys absolutely want to see. But there's anything else, if I see a majority of comments coming up with the same ones, well, I can take notes and we can start working on them, because R&D and testing, by the way, is super long, because my stamp of approval before I put it on something, I am super demanding. And this is not something, by the way, they're not white labeled. I mentioned that again, and we're going to touch on this right now, actually. So yeah, things are going as good as they can. But once again, the overwhelming support that you guys showed, I am thankful. I'm ever grateful. I can't say thank you enough. It's made for me by you, made for my team of chemists, because it's not me blending. By the way, although I have a background in biochemistry and molecular biology, so I can talk the conversations with the chemists, but I still value their work because they specialize in that, right? So a biochemist is not a chemist, where I'm talking about cells and organelles and nucleus and ribonucleic acids and mitochondria and Golgi apparatus and how they interact and how DNA turns into RNA and then protein. And so that's my talk. But for the chemists, they like to talk about, well, the silicon dioxide, the cross-linking, polymerizing, the different pH levels, and all that kind of stuff. So it's very different. But a hydrogen atom is a hydrogen atom, a carbon atom is a carbon atom. So at least when I talk with them, I can kind of give them my expectations, so kind of a deeper knowledge. But definitely, they are the ones doing all the blending. I'm not doing any chemistry on my own for this, right? I needed a team. And so I think I got some of the best and brightest minds in the world. Now, to squash some negative rumors going out there, which are unfounded, because I said my products are not white labeled. So once again, these are my own proprietary blends, premium blends, just for Clean by Pan, the organizer. Nobody else owns these formulas, and I would never authorize that as well. Maybe in the future, one day, if somebody wants to white label my stuff. But this is my own. This is not nobody else's. And yeah, these are all proprietary blends, and the chemists that blend these are my own chemists. Now, some people said, well, because it's a this kind of bottle with this kind of sprayer, this is probably just rebranded DIY products because you're friends with Ivan, right? And well, he has the gold standard polish, and then Pan comes up with a spray polish. So how is that possible? First of all, let me address the just the bottles themselves. Because somebody uses a bullet style and a Tolko sprayer, that doesn't mean that it's the same products. If you look at CarPro, one of my favorite brands ever, CarPro bullet style bottle, Tolko style sprayer, it's the same things. That doesn't mean that it's the same chemistry inside there, guys. Another case in point, if it was the same chemistry and I was just white labeling DIY detail, so you know they're Incredible Suds soap, right? So this one, you know, is on the thicker side, so it's more syrupy, needs a little more effort to dilute. Crazy good shampoo, amazing surfactants in there, quality products, but these are proprietary blends that only Ivan and Nick own. Has nothing to do with me. If we look at my shampoo, it doesn't even have the same consistency. So forget about just the color or the scent. Look at the consistency. This is more runny because I wanted this to be easily dilutable. So we're not talking about the same things here, guys. It's not because they look to have the same bottle. So many companies use these bullet style bottles, and the formulas in them, you're going to see how different they are. Now, what about, well, a spray polish? DIY Detail has this, right? Well, Ivan himself knows this. There's, guys, spray polishes. They didn't reinvent the wheel here. They've existed for a long while, actually well over a decade. I remember myself when I was much younger buying some from Optimum Polymer Technologies. So there was the Hyper Polish and the Hyper Compound in spray form for both of them. So it's not because a company has a spray polish that automatically everybody has the same. That's food for thought. So please do not ever listen to false rumors without having facts. I do not tolerate that, and I will certainly not tolerate that on this channel. So 2 very different products, and to go above and beyond that, I can even tell you it's not even the same chemist making these. So 2 different chemists from 2 different labs. They have nothing to do with one another. And when you're going to use them yourself, you're going to notice, for those of you who have detailing experience, you're going to see it's not the same outcome that you get with either one. Again, both are very high quality. Both are very good. I'll let you make your opinions on them, but these are not the same chemicals. It's not because you have the same sprayers and bottles that it's the same thing. And even inside there, once again, it's not because you have a spray polish that it means that DIY invented this. So Ivan has been talking about it on his own social media accounts. And I think it's important for me to say it too. It's not because we're friends that we use the exact same products. They have their own proprietary blends, which I cannot access. And I have my own proprietary blends that belong to me that they cannot access. For the ceramic coatings, that one's even more obvious. I mean, come on. This is the DIY 3-year coating in an aluminum style bottle. Look at my 3-year coating. So this is a graphene based. Mine is a 3-year too, but is not graphene. It's a completely different technology. It's SiO2. So, and I mean, look, there's no. And even if it was the same bottle, they're still different chemists, by the way. These are not the same chemists that formulated these two. Not to say that one day for some of my products in my lineup, we're not going to have the same chemist from one brand to another, because there's so many chemists in the world, meaning that there's not that many. People think there's so many blending houses. No, they're not. It's crazy when you're behind the scenes how very little options you have. And when you want to go top tier with the best of the best, well, then that costs a lot more. So it costs a fortune to have these products individually made with my own intellectual property, because they increase the value of the company as well, which was important for me. So if anything happens, for example, in the future, you get into a fight with the chemist, or you want to move on to another brand that distributes your products, whatever it may be, because these formulas belong to me, I can take the formulas, they're my own intellectual properties. I do not need that chemist anymore, and I can bring it to another chemist of my choice and have them use that formula that I own, because the recipe is the same. How to bake a cake, how to make a spaghetti. Once you have that, you can do it. So they're my intellectual brands. By the way, cool thing for those wondering, yes, you do get with my coatings that little crust there of crystals that's on there. And as I said in the unveiling video, you can see that through the rim there. So on the applicator itself, you're going to get that crust the day after, so a bit of that scrunchy feel, but it's still not too scrunchy like some other ones, because there's some agents of flexibility and elasticity in there that also prevent microfracturing on the surface. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Not too hard to a point where it can crack and fail, and not too soft to a point where it won't be durable. So lots of tech when inside this. I'm going to talk about the tech of the coating. So yeah, to get back to it, guys, these are not white labeled products. I cannot be more clear than that. They're my own stuff. So yeah, that doesn't prevent some people eventually down the line, if I have other products and we use the same chemist as another brand, that's fine. But the chemists, when you have your own intellectual property, they have to make sure that they don't produce the same chemical, because imagine the legal consequences of just rebottling something else from someone else and then calling it your own intellectual property. That cannot happen. So it has to be different enough where they're never going to be the same. So keep that in mind. For me, I'm not talking for other brands. If other brands want to do white labeling, that's fine. White labeling, by the way, is going through a catalog that already exists. You just basically change the color and the scent, and you slap on your label, and that's it. You call it a day. That's not what I wanted, and I think you guys hold me to a higher standard, and you wanted something proprietary to Pan the Organizer, because I have my own needs and expectations. I'm super demanding for what I want in my line, and that's why I designed these to be the best of the best, and to be able to compete or surpass my own top picks. So that's why you're always going to see me say that. And I think it's normal. Every brand is going to say they have the best out there, and that's normal. I wouldn't want anybody out there to say I have the 8th best. So in the end, you can expect some independent reviews on other websites, and I highly encourage you to go see other content creators. I'm sure there are going to be many reviews. There was already one for the Clean by Pan the Organizer rinseless wash. So the first review on this product by Eddie himself, the king of rinseless washes. So big kudos to him, because not only does he have a great rinseless wash as well, one that he designed with his chemists, but he was clear to say that this was in his top 2 or 3, I think, at this point, and it's crazy good because you can interchange, right? And myself too, like his rinseless wash is so good. If you prefer something that is more surfactant based, well, yeah, use it. It's the best in the world. You want something that is a polymer based, still a cleaning king, and a bit greater surfactants in it as well. So kind of a hybrid, right? Well, this is amazing for you. You can use it in direct sunlight, super slick, all that kind of stuff. For me, yes, it's the best of the best. This is the one I wanted. That's the result I wanted. But there's other ones out there, guys. That doesn't change. There's a bunch of good brands and companies who make a bunch of good products, and still I like to support all those companies. We're going to get to the future of the video later, the future of the channel later on in this video. But yeah, so what other questions are there? Do you own a part of the House of Rags? Absolutely not. No interest, meaning financial interest into the House of Rags. It's Jamie and Eddie's company from the ground up. So I have nothing to do with the House of Rags. All they do for me is they take care of the logistics. So they're my kind of 3PL, if you want. So they take care of distributing my products worldwide. So once my chemists are done producing the products, they take those pallets, they ship them out to the warehouses that are used by the House of Rags. Again, they might use the same 3PL in warehousing as other brands out there. Many brands use the same ones. There's so many big warehouses that you can have in the US, meaning that the majority or a lot of big companies use the same 3PL services. So I'll let them talk about that if they want to, but in the end, it doesn't matter. So I try to be as transparent as I can, by the way, with my line. And you guys know, yes, I'm accessible, but still I'm a very private person in the real world, right? So YouTube, I give a lot of stuff out. I talk a lot, but in the end, I'm still a very private person and I'm very protective of my brand. So I'm going to give out as much information as I can, but I also know, and this is coming from many friends that are in the industry that gave me signs of warning. You got to be careful with not sharing too much, because at the end of the day, I have intellectual property locked into this, a lot of money in R&D and research and production, and you don't want to give a leg up to competitors. So if there are some things I don't say, first of all, it's because they're under NDAs as well. There's a lot of contracts behind this. Again, this is not white labeled stuff. These are my IPs. So there are contracts behind them. There are secrets, industrial secrets that are used that I do not want to give out and cannot legally give out as well. But I would definitely not want to give a leg up to the competition. So I'm giving as much as I can. Believe me, you guys know I'm super thorough and I love the explanations. But now I understand why there's reasons we don't have full explanations on some things from other brands as well. And now that I'm in it, it makes total sense. There was one comment that I saw, I don't remember if it was a DM or on IG or whatever. The guy says, like, can I have your entire formula? I want to see everything that's in there. So I knew that that was probably a competitor, but no, I'm not going to do that, guys. So you already have a lot of information that I'm giving out. Plus, if it's not out now, it will be soon, because they're making sure everything's finalized for the SDS information. So contrary to some brands which might hide that or not show them, I want to make everything accessible to you guys. And by the way, that's why we have the QR code here on the side, so you can eventually access the SDS as soon as it's going to be available and brings you to the website, all that kind of cool stuff. But I think it was important to me. Also, I can't stress enough, and I know you guys are thankful for that, my chemicals are at the forefront of the rules and regulations, not only of USA, but also of the entire world. Even moving for 2025, there's going to be a lot of changes coming up, including VOC and PFAS and all that good stuff. So my chemicals are free of PFAS. So those are forever chemicals, the stuff that's not readily biodegradable outside, that's not healthy for you as well, that can cause many health issues. You can do your own research. I'm not going to get into that, but no PFAS, none of those forever chemicals, no PTFE or Teflon, no fluoropolymers, no fluorine, none of that nasty stuff. So all that R&D costs more because they have to readapt nowadays because of those changing regulations. So again, I wanted my lineup to be free of those PFASs, and that is, or PFAS. So that's very important, and I think you guys value that. So that's where we're at for the products. Again, they're not white labeled. I cannot make it any more explicit than that. I think hopefully this is clear, because again, I do not tolerate false rumors and spreading negativity or toxicity. So although the majority of you guys were super supportive and positive, there's always these negative-minded people, these trolls that come in there and try to break the party. A lot of the comments I knew, because I'm like, I've never seen you guys in this community. Where are you coming from? I have a good photogenic memory, and I know a lot of you guys I interact with on a daily basis. You guys know I still reply to the YouTube comments. I don't think I will be able to do this for the rest of my life, because it is wearing on me a lot. It's overwhelming. So although I love doing it and I'm grateful that we guys have this connection, I'm going to probably need some help now, because I have this business too, and it's too much. I used to spend, before the brand even started, up to 4 hours a day replying to YouTube comments, and now it's gotten to a point where I barely sleep. So you guys have been telling me for a while to get some help. You can't do it all on your own. I get it. And yeah, I'm going to have to figure things out because I'm a one-man show for now, but hopefully things will change for the better. I need some help so I can focus on making better videos for you guys. Also, I'm going to Japan for 2 weeks. This was planned way before the launch date for the products. I need a vacation. My girlfriend needs a vacation. And yeah. So for the tune up to mid-October, if I'm less responsive, it's not because I don't want to. It's going to be more difficult to have internet access over there, but also I need a bit of time off. I need to recuperate. I need to regenerate. It's been a crazy year of R&D development and testing, a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of planning. And this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I thought YouTube at that point was the hardest thing. This is much harder. So yes. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience for the orders once again. By the way, I know they're coming out as quickly as possible, but we're excited to get these out to you for you to test. And I know you're going to be happy once you try them. Okay, let's address many questions that were asked, some for these ceramic coatings, and I think they're valid questions. It's just I've addressed them many times on the channel, so that you guys who are used to seeing my videos, you already know this information, but there's a lot of new people that are always added on. So how can you know that a coating pan lasts for 3 years, like this is a 3-year, and then you have an 8-year? How do you know it lasts for 8 years? You just launched these products, right? So there are many factors. First of all, when you hear, and I've said this many times, the years are not a guarantee that you're going to reach that, because many factors influence the durability of a coating or any form of paint protection. How are you prepping the surface? Not everybody preps the surface well or takes the time to follow the instructions. Some people still apply coatings on top of existing waxes. You would never do that. Coating cannot bond to the virgin clear coat. So the main reason why we polish a car before applying a coating is not to necessarily remove the scratches, swirls, or oxidation. A coating doesn't mind if the paint it looks horrible. It just wants to bond to a clean, decontaminated, and virgin clear coat. So the reason we often polish is to make sure we fully remove the previous protection that's on there. It can be an old coating, an old wax, or a paint sealant, whatever can interfere with the coating bonding. That's what we want to remove. So the machine polishing, that mechanical abrasion with the pad and polishing compound, removes all that, and then you come in with your panel prep spray to remove those polishing oils and residue, and then you're down to a bare and virgin clear coat. That's the correct way of doing things. So the prep is a major factor. Also, the application. Are you following the instructions? Are you in the correct conditions? For my coatings, you have to follow, everything is clearly written in the booklet that's in there, but you follow the application temperatures. So make sure you're within that temperature range to get a good user experience. Only an hour of curing before you expose to rain or water, but if you can wait longer, that's even better. And then 7 days for a full chemical cure. So if you follow those, you should get a very good experience. It's super easy to apply, very easy to level, as long as you're following the instructions once again. Also note that it's a bit thicker because it creates a thicker film build, so it doesn't pour out of the bottle like liquid. So you really have to shake it on and apply the droplets on your microfiber applicator that comes supplied with it. So don't be shy to, especially when you're priming the pad, to add a lot of those droplets. It's supposed to glide on the surface and you're supposed to see that liquid being applied. If it feels a bit draggy, that means you're missing liquid. So reload with more drops as you go. You'll understand how easy it is to apply when you do. So yeah, so far for the factors that influence the durability of a coating. So once again, the prep, the application, as we just spoke about. Then there's also the conditions, the weather in which your vehicle is. So a car that's in a harsher environment, like here in Montreal, Canada, with the winters and road salts and all that, that sits outside all day and is a daily driver, will see much less durability compared to a vehicle that is garage kept, that is only a weekend driven car, and that is better maintained, right? So that will have a higher likelihood of reaching that maximum durability. Then there's the weather, of course, like we said. There's also the mileage. So in a year, a car that does 30,000 miles versus a car that only drives 2,000 miles. I'll let you take a wild guess on which car will that coating last the most. Well, yes, the car that has the less mileage. And then there's maintenance as well. That's human interference. So how often you wash your car, because coatings, even though mine don't require toppers, that was important to me. So you don't have to apply toppers for the coating to perform well. You still need to do regular cleaning and maintenance. So regular washing of your car. Don't wait 3 months before you wash your car, because there's a lot of road film and all that stuff that accumulates into the pores of coatings. We've explained that many times at this point, and it feels like you're not getting hydrophobic properties anymore and that the coating coating is dead, but it's not dead. It just needs to be thoroughly cleaned. Sometimes you need a decon soap, or you might need a mineral deposit remover. If that mineral layer accumulated and crusted on there, you got to remove that and decontaminate the coating. That's why we have specialty soaps available out there from different brands. So the alkaline to remove that traffic film and the bug guts, the acidic to remove that mineral deposit and those water spots, all that kind of stuff. So that comes through regular maintenance and the chemical decontamination that you do on the surface as well to maintain the durability. So all those factors put together are going to vary how long you have of a lifespan. So again, how do you determine that durability then, right? Well, for me, durability is more of a number of an indicator, right? So for example, to me, and I've always said this, and the good brands out there also, they realize what their claims truly should be and they explain it the same way. So an 8-year coating, does this mean it's really going to last 8 years? Again, it depends on all those factors. If your car is a weekend driven car, it's well maintained, is garage kept, not really in the elements, yeah, you're probably going to get that, or maybe more even if it's a garage queen or a museum car. But if it's a daily driver in harsh conditions and you neglect it, are you going to reach 8 years? Probably not. Actually, you're probably never going to reach 8 years. And so for me, an 8-year coating means that it's more likely to last longer compared to a 3-year coating. So it's the one versus another, which one would last the most? It's the 8-year, but doesn't mean the 3-year will actually last 3 years. Doesn't mean the 8-year will actually last 8 years. For the case of the 3 years, if you maintain it well, it will probably go over that. But again, nobody's going to make those promises. At least they shouldn't, because that's not how it works. I wish we were to a point where technology means that even if you neglect your vehicle and it goes through a hailstorm every day and it's always outside in the baking sun and crazy environments, that it's really going to last for whatever time it does. But we can't know that. There's many factors out there. Also, for example, C6 Hydro, which I love, one of the best coatings in the world, right? That Ivan produces for a C6 ceramics brand. That one has a lifetime durability claim. Well, do you think Ivan sat next to the vehicle for a full lifetime to wait and see if it failed? Like, oh, after 98 years, it's not a lifetime, it failed. No, it doesn't work like that. So how do they come up with those numbers? That's a very good question. And that's always a question I addressed with different chemists. And I learned that through experience with the years talking with the different brands. And my own chemists mentioned the same thing. So when we're looking at durability, they do many things to come up with a good guesstimate of how long a product should be durable for in the right conditions and well maintained, right? So they do things like accelerated testing. They do chemical resistance testing. They do the knowledge that they have of the chemicals themselves. Obviously, you need somebody that's very knowledgeable to come up with these formulations, right? If there's any, the amount of adhesion promoters, like my coatings, I'm going to talk about that soon. So I'm going to talk about more in this video about what technology is in there, but the amount of adhesion promoter, if you have an advanced coating that does have that in there, they can do some scrub tests to guesstimate or simulate a few situations, like how often you'd wash your car with your microfiber wash mitt and a shampoo, for example. So multiple scrubs to see if there's still abrasion, if there's any marring on the surface, all that kind of stuff. Because coatings, by the way, and I would never claim this, these do not protect against stone chips and scratches. That is not what they're designed for. Any company that tells you that their coating does that are absolutely lying, and I'm not okay with that. So what coatings do is they prevent only the light marring. So the love marks that come from towel drying or applying things with a towel, like a quick detailer on your thing. So the towel drying or your microfiber wash mitt when you're washing your car. So that kind of love marks, right? So that light marring, they can help alleviate a bit of that, but they do not prevent the deep scratches and swirls. They certainly do not prevent the impacts from stone chips or rock chips. So that's paint protection film that does that. PPF protects against stone chips and scratches, and then you can apply a coating, mine included, on top for the best of both worlds. So what coatings do provide for you is, of course, the gloss. They provide the slickness. They provide resistance to chemicals. They provide the self-cleaning properties. That doesn't mean the car cleans itself. It means that it makes the vehicle much easier to clean during your maintenance washes, because dirt and grime stick less to it, so it's much easier to clean. They provide the hydrophobic properties, the water repellency, the beading, the quick sheeting, all that kind of stuff. Also, in the case of mine, we're going to talk about the technology in just a few seconds, but there's some characteristics of my coatings that we put in there that are different from others and make them very unique. And that's why I still believe to this day they're one of the best, if not the best, on the market out there. And that's my opinion once again. Don't go crazy. This is my opinion because I put so much love and energy and research in out. There's a bunch of other products out there. That's the good thing today. If you find something else or another brand that you want to support, that's okay. But I know that you guys came in with your full support. You're super happy for this. And you know, if I'm putting my name on it, you have trusted me for over 8.5 years. I would not sacrifice over 1 million subscribers and my reputation to have something that is subpar or garbage. It's impossible. I would never do that. Now, in the future, for future products, can some things happen? No brand is immune to having some issues. If the chemist one day forgot to add something in there and something happens with the chemistry and the blending and there's a batch that's not good, or things can happen. I think it's how we're going to address the situation, because I've learned from other companies what they did right and what they did wrong, right, when they have issues. So it's how you address it that counts the most for viewers. So I think the majority of the people, they're understanding that things can happen, but it's how you address them, how you correct them, and how you make things right in the future. And and with me, you can always rest assured that not only will I have what I believe to be the best or some of the best, however you want to formulate it, chemicals out there, because I'm proud of this line, and also I'm going to continue R&D. There's a new product out there from a new brand that I discovered that is better than mine in one category. For example, if somebody comes up with a better tire dressing or a better ceramic spray sealant that I feel mine is lagging behind now, well, I can ask my chemists to go back to the drawing board, because there's going to be new materials, new technologies. It's normal. I want the industry to go forward, so I'm welcoming again that competition, and it's going to be fun. Actually, that's going to be a challenge for me. How do we get our products to be king of the pack again? So I'm welcoming competition. I'm not scared of it. So I see some brands there like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to get into that drama. If you're scared, that means you're not confident of your line, and you should welcome competition. Again, I have Pan's Picks categories on the House of Rags website because I'm confident in my line. People are like, why are you supporting the other brands if you have your own pan? Shouldn't you only be talking about yours? No, because again, I'm not scared. I love to try a bunch of other stuff. And by the way, this is a limited line right now, so I'm still missing a lot of chemicals in this lineup. So I still have to test and discover what else is out there, what new innovations are there, or is there anybody that's surpassing my own? I got to stay up to date. So you're going to continue to see all that on the channel. That's not going to change. So I can be confident. And how do I remain unbiased? Well, again, guys, that whole bias thing, I know that those of you who've been following me for a while, you don't even doubt it. You know that when I say something, I mean it. And when I talk about products on my channel, there are products and brands that I like to support. I've tested, tried, and true for me. Again, these are my opinions. You can disagree with my picks, and I'm fine with that. There's no problem with that. As long as we stay respectful in the exchanges, I don't tolerate any bullying or harassment. That goes against community guidelines, and those comments will be flagged and reported to YouTube for sure. So everybody has to stay civil, please, and respectful, just like I am. I don't like starting drama. If you call for it, though, some people sometimes, I'll plow into them like a freight train, because some just cross that line and they need to be put back in their place. Some, you know what that is, right? How toxic social media is nowadays. Some keyboard warriors, as we call them, they feel confident behind their username XYZ-1, no user picture or profile, and they comment and they fire something off, and just to stir controversy or to be very negative. I have zero tolerance for that. On this channel, you guys are respectful, I stay respectful, and we expect the same from anybody new coming into our community, right? We don't welcome anybody that's negative-minded or anybody that just wants to be here for negative reasons. If you don't like Pan the Organizer, don't watch his videos. That pure and simple. If you don't like me, don't buy the products. Let others enjoy them. There's more than enough people who are liking these and who are going to support me. So do what you want and support the brands that you care for. That's all good. There's a bunch of good brands out there that produce amazing stuff. So for the coatings, to get back to them, so the years of durability are for me more an indicator than a hard line, because there's too many factors to account for. And another factor in there is the coatings now, because we said it also their own experience for the chemists, right, that formulate these, that come into it. Because don't forget, at this point, coatings have been around for well over a decade on the consumer side and way longer than that on the commercial side or industrial side. So it's not like these are new technologies. So there's new advancements that they can add to their arsenal, maybe some new ingredients that they can add as well as things progress, but they have already now a wealth of that knowledge that accumulated. So at the beginning, coatings were a mess. Some were calling them snake oil. Some were not lasting that long. They were a mess to apply. It was super hard to remove. It would barely last a few rounds of washing the car and they'd disappear. I remember those days. We're far beyond that. The majority of the good coating companies today have something stout, that's for sure. So who's number 1, number 3, number 4? There's a lot of good ones. Don't worry about it. I'm proud of mine. And yes, of course, for me, they're the best in the world because I helped to develop these with my chemists. So naturally, I would call them the best because I think they truly are amazing. And I'll wait for your feedback. I'm sure we're going to have it in not too long from now. But they're at the very least, let me just say, they're freaking amazing. All of them, all the products I'm super proud of. So the experience of the chemist counts for a lot. They have all that data now that we're able to analyze when coatings were failing, why they were failing, what conditions they were failing in, so they can quickly turn around now and reformulate these products to make them better and better. So all that put together, they can come out with guesstimates and tell you, Pan, for me, this coating should be able to last 8 years in the right conditions, with the right prep, with the right maintenance and all that. That's what you can expect in normal conditions or favorable conditions. Or this is a 3-year based on whatever they said, right? Once again, so they have ways to come up with those. It's not somebody imagines a number in their head and they're faking, or so that's how we know. Even for a new brand, because there's new brands out there all the time. Everybody has years of durability on their bottles, right? It's not just mine. Like you look at, again, DIY with a 3-year, and when the brand was released, they had the same questions most likely. I know they did because they came out with a video trying to explain the same things I'm doing. So people were like, how can you know your coatings last 3, 5, and 8 years when you've only been around for never? Because when they started 2 years ago, they had the DIY was new, right? So, well, that's because they have the chemists behind them, and DIY has their own proprietary blends as well, and they have their own chemists, and their chemists have that knowledge and background and info that can share. And so in those situations and normal factors, that's what you can expect. Now, that doesn't mean that's what is guaranteed. We cannot guarantee the years of durability, because again, for all those factors, a guy who takes care of their car, once again, who's a weekend driven vehicle only, garage kept, will have a much greater durability compared to, again, harsh conditions, kept outside all the time and never maintained. If I look at my Porsche, even the previous one, the 911 Turbo S, it lasted for 3 years. The coating was still going strong like day one. Well, I do not a lot of mileage per year. It stays in the garage pretty much all the time. So very low mileage, maintained, washed twice weekly by yours truly here. So yeah, of course the coatings, anything on my vehicle is going to last a long time. That makes total sense. So the experience will vary, again, depending on all those factors, and I hope you understand them. Now, some questions I've been getting. What is the technology behind them? I pretty much said everything I could say without revealing industrial secrets, because once again, I remind, if it was only you guys and we'd have a secret, it'd be my pleasure to say. But there's always competition that's watching. Not everybody is well-intended, and I don't want anybody to steal my intellectual property or anybody to be able to copy the technology. So again, I'm very private in my life and I like to protect my own brand. This is going to be the same. So there's things I cannot say either because of NDAs and contracts and for legal reasons. So not only because I don't want to give those secrets out, but this is my intellectual property. This is no joke. So what's the tech behind them? Both the 3 and 8 year. So the major difference, again, is the number of actives and solids in the 8 year. We turned everything up to level 11. So you're getting more of that gloss, more of that slickness, even better chemical resistance. You're getting definitely durability was the main one with this one. That's the biggest differentiator, is how long this can potentially last compared to the 3 year. So does it mean a 3 year is a 3 year and an 8 year is truly an 8 year? I think you understand that by now, hopefully. So yeah, it's the difference in durability the most, but both of them, what I can say is that they are SiO2 type coatings. So these are silicon dioxide. That's what SiO2 is, also known as silica. And so that's the backbone, that's the basis, the structure of it, because there's graphene coatings, there's ceramic coatings, there's polysilazane coatings, there's different types out there. So we decided to go with this technology because the other ingredients that we had in there really helped. So what else can I reveal without saying too much? It has a built-in amine functional alkoxysilane adhesion promoter built in. That basically, it's a mouthful to say that it helps the coating itself bond better, cross-link, polymerize, and have a stronger bond with the clear coat. So that was the thing that was super important that I had noticed in differences with other coatings themselves that were failing earlier. One key thing is usually that kind of technology. You need some things that help make that backbone super strong to not only, you don't want it to sit on top, you want it to cross-link. So cross-link means this, right? You're crossing links. So you're baking yourself into that clear coat and you're creating that durable bond now that is more difficult to remove. Now, another thing. So yes, it is crusty on the applicator the next day, but not as much as some who only have high solids, but that are lacking elasticity and flexibility agents that we built in there. So yes, it's crusty, but you're still going to feel that, yeah, I can kind of play around. And that was on purpose because we wanted the products to stay flexible on the surface, especially the metals. When you think about it, with the temperature change, cold climates, warm climates in the same day, there's fluctuations in temperature. The metal expands and contracts. So if your coating is too stiff, well, then you're creating microfracturing. So it can start breaking, and then you have crevices where things get lodged into, and then the coating just starts breaking down, and that's how you're starting failures to see them. So in this case, those flexible agents and the agents that provide elasticity, they're able to allow the coating to stay flexible on the surface and to expand and contract with the metal without creating that microfracturing. So that's crazy technology. So there's all that tech built into it. There's also, why are we saying that it's more resilient to water spotting? So again, compared to some other coatings on the market, these are more resilient to water spotting. Now again, I want to stress this. This doesn't mean they're bulletproof against water spotting and it will prevent 100% of water spotting. Coatings are still prone to that because of their technology, because they repel water so well, because they create that super hydrophobic layer, especially this one, the droplets just want to fly off the paint. That's why, by the way, we had these reverse water droplets. That was an Easter egg that I explained. So we had the reverse water droplets because the water doesn't want to stick on the surface. That's how hydrophobic this is. In my testing and any coating that I've tried, these have the best hydrophobic properties ever, and I'm sure you guys will notice the craziest beading, how quickly those beads shed off as well, is just nuts. The water dances on the surface. It's wild. So it was important for us to have that characteristic too, because I know a lot of people have issues with water spotting where they live. Either they have hard water issues, or they park near a sprinkler, or the car sits outside all day, or they might have rainy conditions where the water droplets sit and they evaporate, and that's what creates the water droplets. So my coatings are a bit more resilient to that. I can't fully explain why for intellectual property reasons, but part of that is, of course, due to the chemistry, and also part of it is due to the water repellency. So keep that in mind. So it doesn't prevent 100% water spotting, but it's definitely better than the majority that I've seen out there. But you still need to regularly maintain your car. The best way to prevent water spotting is to do regular washes before those minerals that evaporate from the water droplets, they start etching in to the finish, right? Etching in through the ceramic coating, etching in through the clear coat. So if you leave water spots days on end or weeks on end in the baking sun, you'll eventually cause damage. I don't care how good any coating is. That's normal. That's why we have water spot removers or mineral deposit removers. So again, that chemical decon for maintenance, right? You got it. So you got to take care of your vehicle, continue washing it. And if you want to apply a topper, by the way, it's not because mine don't require one. I just thought that was cool because it's no maintenance as far as toppers are required. But if you do want to apply a quick detail spray, a ceramic-based spray sealant, even mine that you can use as often as you want, even every wash, even though this can last 6 to 12 months on its own. By the way, to get that durability with this, that means it's on dry paint. If you want long durability, you apply it on dry, because you can also use it as a drying aid on wet paint. And you can also use it as a spray on rinse off sealant on wet paint again. So 3 methods that you can use it. But the ones who want the best durability, it's always going to be on dry because you're diluting with water when you're using it on a wet surface, right? But it's very versatile. So you can use this as often as you want on the coating. Some people, like myself included, to boost gloss and slickness after a wash. You just want that satisfaction of using something. And of course, well, you're always adding more protection on top. So it's not going to do anything bad to the coating. You're just adding to the protection that's on there. And mine doesn't mask, by the way, the ceramic spray sealant. It does not mask the properties of the coatings. It plays nicely with them. And if you have actually a weaker coating on your vehicle right now, you're not quite ready to polish it off to apply something else, but you want a topper that can kind of revive all that and add gloss, slickness, a bit of chemical resistance, and also the hydrophobic properties, this is going to be great. So this, if you have something bad for hydrophobics, this could definitely improve those. So I think that's interesting for the coating itself. So those are all the properties and the things I can say without revealing too much. And yeah. So the next part, we talked about a little pH resistance. What does that mean? So we spoke about these 2 coatings in the coating video, and I have an in-depth video that I did about these as well, just as I have in-depth videos coming for all of these separate products coming soon, because I know you guys want to hear more about them, see the testing, the demos, the application, all that kind of stuff. So on these, we said chemical resistance, pH 1 to 14. So you guys saw the chemical resistance test in the coating demo, and it resisted everything in the kitchen sink. We did way too much, and it didn't even break a sweat. We were all laughing in that test. You guys probably saw it was exaggerated. And obviously you would never do that. You guys know, I've always said this, chemical resistance tests are stupid. These are only for entertainment purposes. This is for fun. You should never be doing that in your house, dousing chemicals that you never use one after the other, back to back to back to back, working them in, spraying, and then pH 1, pH 14, pH 3, pH 7, iron remover, degreaser, tar, solvent, all that. No, don't do that. Heck, we even sprayed Citrol 266, which is one of the strongest degreasers that's known to mankind probably. So Yeah, pH 1 to 14. So some people were really impressed, and I got valid questions, right? Like, wow, pH 1 to 14, does that mean like I can resist battery acid? And no, guys, don't do the crazy stuff like that, because what the chemical resistance for chemicals means, by the way, first of all, let's talk about a little chemistry, but I'm going to put it in a way that's accessible to everyone. So what pH is, it's simply a measure of hydrogen ion concentration in a formula. So what does that mean, Pan? Hydrogen ion concentration in a formula. All that means is it's measuring how alkaline, which means high pH, anything over 7 up to 14, or how acidic something is. So pH 0 all the way up to pH 7 being pH neutral. So all a pH indicator is how acidic or how alkaline a solution is, how a liquid is. But that doesn't tell us how strong the chemical is inside it. Let me give you a proof. Let me grab a bottle here while you guys are there. And I think explaining it this way, because this is how we talk in chemistry terms. So if we look at this, right, a fantastic soap made by Kochemi or Kokemi, this is their reactivation shampoo. So if you look here, it has a pH value of 1. That is super acidic, but they call it a reactivation shampoo. Why? This helps to descale. So if you have some scale or mineral deposit accumulation, heck, they even say it here in the front, that's their claim. That's the main reason for it. For ceramic coated vehicles, because this I wouldn't use on a wax or a sealant, by the way, those are not strong enough. The ceramic coatings have a much higher resistance to chemicals compared to waxes and sealants. So the reactivation shampoo helps to descale. What that means is like CarPro Descale, an acidic soap. It's to remove the mineral buildup and the water spot buildup on your ceramic coating, to unclog the coating from those minerals and to kind of revive the hydrophobic properties. So the coating oftentimes is not necessarily dead if you see a flat pool of water or it's not beating as much. Often it means that you have hard water issues where you live, or there's been an accumulation of minerals. So there's these what we call decon soaps on the market, right? But you're reading this now and you're saying like, well, it can resist a pH of 1, the coating, so why could not resist pH 1 of something else? Because we just said that the pH talks about how acidic or how alkaline a solution is, but not how strong those chemicals are. So in this case, because this is a chemical developed for ceramic coatings and for use in the detailing world, these are safe. So I can use this anytime on my vehicle, anytime with this coating, anytime with any coating from any other brand, and it's not going to kill the coating, assuming the coating was properly applied and it's actually a good coating from a reputable manufacturer. So to give you an example, so this is fine, right? And it's a pH of 1. However, if you have battery acid, that typically also has a pH roughly 1, sometimes 0.8, sometimes 1.2, but in general, battery acid, a pH of 1 as well. Well, battery acid is corrosive to metals. It would, if you pour that onto the coating and you just let it dwell there, it will kill any coating. I don't care how good it is. It's not going to resist it. But like, yeah, but isn't it a pH 1 like this? Well, that's because that doesn't tell you how strong the chemical is. So the pH resistance in terms of ceramic coatings means they can resist a pH range, whatever pH range they have. So in my case, for my coatings, 1 to 14, within the realm of things a vehicle should, or a coating should normally see in its lifespan. So the elements outside, whether it's acid rain, whether it's bug guts, whether it's, of course, don't let the bug guts sit for 3 weeks in the baking sun. That's going to kill any coating. It's going to etch through the coating. You still have to do regular maintenance. So bug guts, tree sap, industrial fallout, rail dust, brake dust, all those kinds of things. So any chemistry that is out there, or materials, or any chemistry that you're using in your detailing process. So your decon soaps, acidic or high alkaline snow foams, that kind of stuff, your shampoos, your quick detail sprays, your rinseless washes, whatever you're using to maintain. So in a 1 to 14 range, because detailing companies, usually they make products that are safe to use on your car's surface. So that's what we mean. So again, battery acid, of course, don't do that. Or pure hydrochloric acid. So what is written as HCl, that's pure hydrochloric acid. That's as acidic as it can get. It can be a pH of 1.5 to 3.5. So you're saying, wow, pure hydrochloric acid is actually not as low of a pH as this, but this is no problem to use on a coating. And if you pour pure hydrochloric acid on your surface, it can not only corrode metals, it can probably burn through metals too. So it would definitely kill any coating. You'd put that on there, let it sit, and even wipe it in. That's it, the coating is done. But you should never handle hydrochloric acid. So again, even though it has a slightly higher pH level compared to this reactivation shampoo at pH 1, it is still way more stronger, the hydrochloric acid, compared to the reactivation shampoo. So I hope that message came across. You can, if you want, by the way, share this video with people who don't necessarily have an understanding of all that and they're kind of questioning themselves. So yeah, as much as the chemical resistance of my coatings is second to none, I've never seen as much chemical resistance. There's a few very, very good ones out there. Like the C6 ceramics definitely have awesome chemical resistance as well. So those are like top tier right now with a bunch of other brands too. I'm not going to name them all, but there's a bunch of them who have very good resistance. So we're gone from the days where coatings could resist maybe pH 4 to pH 9. So now we have a much broader range of chemicals they can resist to because companies are coming out more and more with these types of products. So before this wouldn't exist. Like if we're looking maybe 6-7 years ago for coating maintenance, nobody was talking about descaling shampoos at pH 1 or pH 5 or alkaline snow foams at pH 12 or pH 13 that can help to remove road film and all that kind of stuff. So as technology evolves, well, brands and manufacturers realize that we need to come out with maintenance products that can help combat, like people were not having their coatings fail, but they were masked by these minerals and traffic film. So now we have things that can remove them. So again, pH resistance in the ceramic coating world means a resistance to chemicals normally used for maintaining your ceramic coating. So you can use a mineral deposit remover, you can use an iron remover, you can use a tar remover, you can use, if you're on glass, a glass cleaner, no problem. If they're on your wheels, you can use a wheel and tire cleaner, that's fine. So that's what the chemical resistance means. Do not pour battery acid. Do not put hydrochloric acid on there. Don't do that. Or those super caustic like pH 14 chemicals that are degreasers for like the industry to clean vats and stuff that is not related to car detailing. I know you wouldn't do that. That would be ridiculous, but I'm just saying. So now you know what pH is. You know what it means. You know what it stands for as far as the range, and you know what it means. It doesn't mean it tells you how strong a chemical is when you hear about pH resistance, right? So food for thought. I like to educate my viewers on that. So hopefully I gave you enough information on the chemicals. So again, these are my own proprietary blends. I cannot be clearer than that. My intellectual properties. Nobody else has my formulas. Nobody. And just as much as I don't have anybody else's formulas, these are my own. I can take my products, bring them to another chemist if I wanted to, because I own the formulas. This is in legal contracts. The chemist doesn't own my formulas, I own them. So those formulas I can take and bring wherever I want. If ever there's a fallout with the chemist, if I don't get along with him, whatever it may be. But that's not the case, because the chemists that are with me, because I use different labs, once again, if we're looking at the different components here, they're all exceptional people. I'd like to say some of the brightest minds in the industry. I have a good background in that myself. So when I sit down with them, when it was time to interview one or the other, and when I was doing the testing mostly. So sometimes I'd have for the same product, 3 different chemists having sent me like 3, 4, 5, 7 different samples to test from. And it was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was fun for me to notice the difference as well, right? So you'd think that, hey, a shampoo at this point is just a shampoo, right? They're all the same. Well, definitely not, because even the consistency, you can tell they're all built differently. They're all made differently. They're all formulated differently, as long as you're using proprietary blends, right? If you're having your own chemist, if you're using white labeling, some brands do it well, by the way, and I'm okay with that. But I'll let them talk about their stuff. I like my own products done with my input, my chemist, and I can control what we do in the future as well. That's the power of having your own chemist blend your own stuff. And so I spoke about the tech, the coatings, the products, all that kind of stuff, the behind the scenes. I give you as much details as I could. Once again, please, I'm going to try and be as responsive as I can in the comments, but at this point, there's just so many. You know, for over 8 years, I was the only big channel on YouTube to personally reply to your comments every day. The proof is right there. You can backtrack up to my first video. You're going to see Pan the Organizer always in the comments. So I'm going to try and continue as much as humanly possible, but I'm going to need help in the future for sure. So there's going to be many things. I'm going to keep you updated. If you like these videos, by the way, of a kind of a heart-to-heart and updates, let me know. I can do more of them in the future. What's the future of the channel, by the way? People are saying, does that mean it's the end of you testing other products? Absolutely not. Once again, I said it in this video. I'm so confident about my products. I actually welcome competition. And heck, once again, on the House of Rags website, under that Pan section, you not only have the Clean by Pan the Organizer products and kits, you also have the Pan's picks. Those are all my favorite products from different brands that the House of Rags is carrying. I'm able to cater through that and kind of make a selective list of things that I've reviewed in the past that have made my awards or that I'm currently testing and that I really, really like. Basically things that you guys should be looking into, and you can support all those other brands as well because I like to support them, and hopefully the other brands out there follow suit. We should all be very supportive. That's one thing I'm going to give to Ivan from DIY Detail. By the way, we are friends, but we're not competitors. Even though I launched my own brand, he was one of the first to reach out and congratulate me. That shows what kind of person he is, a man of honor. He was a great mentor to me as well. We like to exchange. He has over 4 decades of experience in the detailing. So even though I have 27 plus years of detailing experience now, it's nothing compared to his experience. So we're not competitors. We are people who support each other. You're still going to see videos on my channel that I've done with Ivan. Heck, I went to Omaha. While I was developing my own products, I still went out there with other content creators to make some cool stuff, hang out. That's what it should be about. There's enough human beings on the planet that can support all these brands. It shouldn't feel like a competition. Now, I don't know if that's new to you, but DIY feels that same way. They're confident about their lineup just as much as I am with mine. They're not scared of the competition, and they can talk about other brands as well. It doesn't matter, and I like that. Brian from Apex, another one, a good friend of mine. So he has his own line of products, right? The BC line, and he's not scared of competition, and he said it in his own videos. He's super confident about his stuff, as one should be. If you're fearful and stressed of competition, maybe that means that your chemicals are not the best in the world and you should have them revisited, or perhaps hire different chemists, but there's something there. So for me, I just welcome the competition. I'm going to continue testing, as I said, because there's products in my line I still don't have yet. These are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. So I have more and more coming. We're already in R&D, in development. So yep, there's going to be future stuff. And again, I'm taking your input. If there's anything you want to see in the line, drop a comment in the comment section. I'm always curious to hear what you guys want to see next. But I'm going to continue to review other products from other brands because I like to test. I like to see what's out there. I want to make sure that I stay, because my promise to you is to always make sure I can have the best of the best in my line, or at least some of the best detailing products, because now apparently you have to say some of the best. So some of the best detailing products out there, and just be super proud of what I'm putting out there. So you can always rest assured that we're going to have the latest tech, the greatest, and something amazing to use. At the bottom line is what I want you guys to have is a pleasurable experience. When you use my products, not only is the performance amazing, but even the scents. We use some quality perfumers in there with some food grade dyes and scents, by the way. So it makes your experience so much better. Never overpowering or overbearing scents, because some people are sensitive to scents as well, and I understand that. So that this is all just stuff that is awesome to use. So I want you to have fun. That's still the same mission. On the Pan the Organizer channel, I've always been out there doing what? Doing tutorials and product reviews to help you guys make the best purchasing decision so you can have the most for your money at the end of the day. That's why I created this line. You're getting value for money in the top tier. So premium products, premium blends that are only available through the Clean the Pan the Organizer website, which is the House of Rags, by the way, but meaning these are my own proprietary formulas. Nobody else has my products. Nobody. And so that is awesome. And you can always rest assured that you're getting also that latest tech, but they're going to be fun to use. And I'm also not only showing you and telling you about them, but I want them to be easy and accessible to everyone. DIYer, weekend warrior, seasoned professional detailer, it doesn't matter. Anybody can buy these, anybody can access these, and anybody can have fun using them. So yeah, guys, how long am I in this video? Over an hour. Hopefully this didn't bore you. I know you guys love these updates. A lot of you guys like to geek out in the details just like I do. So I try to share as much as possible, but there's going to be things, and please understand this, that I will never share or cannot share for either intellectual properties or legal documents, non-disclosure agreements, those kinds of things. Proprietary stuff that I don't want competition to hear. So even though I welcome the competition, I don't want to give them my secrets. Just as much as they don't give me their formulas. I've never heard any company say, Pan, here's our formula, here's how we do it. And no, that doesn't work like that. So I got to be very protective of my brand. And also there's just some things I think, like for any other brand, like I wouldn't ask him financials, and that's none of my business. So that's the same thing for some people. I saw some ask things to the to the House of Rags, asking them things about finances, and guys, that is it's none of my business, and it's certainly none of your business. So just as much as I wouldn't go out there and ask you, like, how much did you spend on your house? Like, how much did you borrow? Which bank sent you the money? How did you come up with that? No. There are certain limits that we're not going to cross that line. Don't forget, the majority of these brands, you don't even know who the owners are. So talk about the big brands, you guys have never even met them. So I've met them separately, a lot of those CEOs, and but the public doesn't have access to these people. Just like when you order from Amazon, you can't ask Jeff Bezos, where is your package, right? That doesn't work like that. So now, because we're accessible as the brand, so myself, I'm the face of this brand, right? I'm the CEO, I'm the founder of the brand, and I've always been responsive. So I think this proximity makes it sometimes where people feel, some people feel entitled to know everything. No, I don't work like that. I'm still a very private person, as I said, and I thank you for understanding this. I know the majority of you do. It's just for that small minority of people. There's always a few there, that come in and say that oh, you're not transparent, I should know more. No, I'm not going to put my company into jeopardy to give you whatever you want. You're certainly not going to get the formulas of my products. That I found was a crazy comment. Thankfully, the majority of you guys are awesome. You're very respectful, by the way. If you see some naysayers down there, note that will not be tolerated in the comment section. I want everybody to stay respectful, and hopefully I gave enough clarity, and I'll continue to do these. So once again, it's been the success. You guys did this. What I did was with my chemist is create all of these, but for after that, it was depending on what you guys were doing, and you showed your support, you showed your love, and you showed that through all these years watching my videos, we built a relationship of trust, you and I, and you feel that you can trust me, and I thank you for placing all your trust and confidence in me. And note that you're going to get some pretty wild stuff for your money there. And again, thank you so much for making all of this possible. I'm truly grateful. I'm truly humbled too. It's amazing. Yeah, I promised to have over 1 million subscribers before starting my line. I did, and I'm sure a lot of people out there, the jealous ones, were hoping that we'd fail, because you guys are in this with me. We made this happen. The success is because of you. You can be proud of that accomplishment, and you're going to be using some of the best detailing products in the world now. So I appreciate it. Again, the products are coming soon to, well, US and Canada. We launched that already, but all of Europe, the UK, Australia, Japan, and we're also looking to add future countries in the list based on demand. If we see other countries come up there with demand, and I see comments pop up, what I can do is reach out to Eddie and Jamie over at the House of Rags, because they're my worldwide distributors, remember? So they're the ones who are signing the contract agreements with the different countries and distribution kind of stuff. So if we see strong demand for other countries, we're definitely going to be adding those. But I'm so happy that to start off, we're already becoming a global brand. And I don't know, I can't wait to see you guys send pictures of you using this stuff or videos or whatever it may be. And it's going to be a dream come true to see viewers say, like, Pan, like, look, I'm using your stuff. Isn't that wild to have that dream come true? Like, you guys saw me build my channel from the ground up. I had 0 subscribers. My number 1 subscriber, the first one ever, was my brother Andy. He was fully supportive. He's completely enthused, by the way, with all this. He's going to get trained on all this stuff. Because who knows, one day, is he going to be a part of this brand? Wouldn't it be cool? Whether it's customer service, I don't know what it can be. But if I can find a role for him, I think that would be pretty awesome. He's very happy at the work he is. He has a very good job. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what the future entails. But there's a lot of positivity and a lot of love and support. And that's all thanks to you guys. Thank you. Yeah, I know I usually give that emoji online, that muscle thing. It means the strength of the Pan, the Organizer family. You guys have seen me from the beginning. A lot of you are still there from the early days, and you've seen all this progress, and here we are with a dream come true. And I can't wait for you guys to have these in your hands. I'm so stoked. But again, thank you. Thanks for your understanding as well as we sort things out for the shipping, the new batches, packing, all that kind of stuff. It's coming, don't worry. And yes, you will have your orders. Just be patient and go support the House of Rags. Eddie and Jamie, I cannot thank these guys enough. They're true friends, but beyond that, they share the same core value as I do, which is hard work. crazy hardworking guys. They deserve all their success. Show them some love. Go on their YouTube channel, The House of Rags. Go on their Instagram page, The House of Rags as well. Show them some much love, and show all the other brands that are on The House of Rags some love as well. These are all brands that are top notch, and they agreed to be a part of this adventure with the House of Rags. I think that's pretty cool, and they're going to be in Pan's picks, so that's my way of showing them that I also still care, right? That doesn't stop. And hopefully they'll show some love too. If there's brands out there that I thought were supportive of Pan that just disappear all of a sudden now, I know that their intentions, that means they were only there for the channel's popularity and not for the right reasons. But thankfully for now, I've gotten a lot of support from all these other brands as well. And yeah, it's just cool to see. So again, the House of Rags, for any updates, they're very good at communicating. If you have any issues with your orders, your concerns, the website itself, all that kind of stuff, support@thehouseofrags.com, or start a chat on the House of Rags website, or call them on the support line for customer service. A1 customer service. Absolutely loved it. So Jamie, Eddie, you guys are doing this. I'm happy. I'm proud of you. And all the Pan, the organizer followers, subscribers, and supporters, you're the best. I truly have the best audience in the world. So in the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.